Today we have a super exciting recipe that we're gonna try to make keto. And this recipe was actually sent to me by my husband, Brad. He's obsessed with Italy and all of the Italian food. And he sent it to me and he said, doesn't this look so good? Too bad it's not keto. And I said, you know what? I'm pretty sure that we can make that keto. So this recipe came from TikTok. It is by Chef Max Mariola. We're gonna be leaving a link to his account in the description below. And the recipe is called mozzarella in carosa. My husband Brad speaks Italian, or he's learning Italian, and he says it's called mozzarella in a carriage. A lot of times you can feel left out when you're doing keto. So, but with a little bit of creativity, you can try to make an attempt most of the time to recreate your favorite dishes and make them keto. And that's what we kind of want to teach you guys, is just to have an open mind about substitutions, and you'd be able to look at any recipe and say, can I make this keto? Probably. So in order to make this recipe keto, you kind of have to break it down into the ingredients, like what are you gonna need? And so first of all, you're gonna need mozzarella. That's keto friendly, right? Mozzarella, easy one, we can use that. We've actually made mozzarella before on this channel. You guys probably didn't see that video because you guys didn't click on it, but you know what? It was really easy and it was the best tasting mozzarella that I've ever tried. And it only took 3 ingredients, and Sarah and I actually made mozzarella. We're not gonna be doing that today in this video, but you're gonna be needing mozzarella, which keto friendly already, basil. He uses anchovies in his recipe. So we're gonna be using some uncured pepperoni. You're gonna be needing bread. He uses a white sliced bread for his recipe. We bought this one online. It's like the Aunt Millie's Carb Smart white bread. There are so many different white breads on the market that you could use. Like, we don't like specifically say which one is better than the others. Sarah and I live what we call a technically keto lifestyle. 70% of the time we're eating things like vegetables and meat and butter. The other 30% of the time we eat stuff like this, and then we fit it into our lifestyle. It might not have the cleanest ingredients or whatever, but it works for us. You can use whatever kind of white bread that you want for this recipe. If you do try it with like one of those egg white breads, we have made them in the past before, it might work. Tag us below, we would love to hear about it. You might even be able to use like a low carb tortilla or something like that. You just want a vehicle. You want 2 pieces of bread to act as a vehicle for this. So we're gonna be using this brand. So you're gonna be needing a breading option for your recipe. He uses crushed breadcrumbs for his. I mean, you might be able to take some of this bread, dry it, and then crush it into breadcrumbs. That might be a great idea, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna be using pork panko. This is our favorite type of deep fried breading that we use all the time for recipes, okay? The other thing though is that we always get comments like, what can I use if I don't like to eat pork rinds? The reason is that you don't like pork rinds because of the taste, then still try it, because when you put flavoring into there and you deep fry it, you won't taste the pork rinds. But if it's for another reason, religious or otherwise, that you don't eat pork, we are going to be trying to use lupin flour and the crunchier lupin flakes to bread this in so that we can test it out for all of you, because you guys are always asking us what a suitable option is if we don't like pork rinds, and lupin flakes, they might work out. The other thing that you're gonna need is a pan, oil for frying. You're gonna need eggs. You're gonna need milk. Now, milk has a lot of carbs in it. Sarah and I use heavy cream in place of milk all the time. So now that we have viewed the original recipe, dissected the recipe, and seen which replacements we're gonna use to make it keto friendly, we're gonna start making this recipe. But before we get started, we're gonna take a minute to talk about the sponsor of this video, Element. Element is a delicious electrolyte drink mix with everything that you need and nothing that you don't. That means lots of salt and no sugar. Element contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Sarah and I drink Element every single day because we love the way it tastes and it helps us on our ketogenic lifestyle. That's because when you go into ketosis, you shed a lot of water, and inside that water are your electrolytes. This can leave you feeling tired, nauseous, and even having muscle cramps, also known as the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Sarah and I love all the flavors of Element, but our absolute favorites are citrus salt, raspberry salt, and orange salt, but they're all delicious. Right now, Element is offering our community a free sample pack. It looks like this so that you can try all the flavors. That's 8 single serving packets free with any order from Element. This way you can try all the flavors or share some with a salty friend. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. Thanks so much to Element for sponsoring another video on our channel. Let's get back to the recipe. So here is what we are putting inside of our carriage. Carosso. This is like a giant stuffed deep fried mozzarella stick. I mean, how could you go wrong? We have our fresh mozzarella, some hand torn basil, and the biggest pepperoni I've ever seen. Now that I'm thinking about it, like this recipe seems like a great jumping off point that you could put so many different combinations in here. So if you guys have any ideas of what else you could put in here, let us know, because I think that this is going to taste awesome. We're gonna be filling our bread with the mozzarella, a layer of the salami, and the basil, but kind of be careful. You don't want to overstuff this thing. I have a tendency to do that. So let's just be on the careful side so that we can actually close this. You're going to want to fit it between these two pieces of bread, and you're going to want these sides to touch. You can probably push it down and everything, but just make sure you don't overstuff it. So I think what's important is that when you're trimming off the crust of the bread, that you don't see any of the fillings coming out, because that might mean that you're overfilling it. So as long as you don't see any of the fillings sticking out, you should be fine. We're going to be setting up our dredging stations, and they're going to consist of your really fine flour. We're going to be using almond flour instead of regular flour. You're going to need egg wash and some heavy whipping cream in the next bowl. We're just using about 3 eggs and a couple tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. The third station is going to be like where our crunch factor is. This is where traditionally you would be using breadcrumbs, but we're going to be using pork panko. We're going to be seasoning every bowl so that you have a lot of flavor in there. We're just going to be using garlic powder, a little salt, and a little pepper. If you're using pork rinds instead of breadcrumbs and you don't like the taste of pork rinds, use some garlic powder in there along with some salt and pepper to really mask that flavor. So the first step is going to be kind of patting your almond flour all over it. He uses the regular flour first. Usually in the double dredge method, Sarah and I will dip it in egg first, and then we'll dip it in flour, and then we'll dip it back in the egg. But he doesn't do that. So we're just gonna dust this with almond flour, and then we're gonna go into our egg wash, and he kind of presses the sides down, or kind of gets the sides wet, and then he places it inside of the breadcrumbs or the pork panko, which we're going to be using, and he presses it down to try to close it and really compact it down. You're going to want to like make sure that everything is nice and patted down very firmly but gently. We're going to do one in the lupin flour just so that we can try it out. And then we're going to start frying up these mozzarella carriages. Start frying. We're going to be using avocado oil, but you can probably use whatever oil that you want. You could probably even use like lard or tallow to fry these in. The oil is about 350 degrees. We're going to gently slide this thing into there. We're gonna baste this thing with the hot oil, so that should be interesting. You're only gonna be cooking this until you can see some color on it. You don't have to cook any of the inside ingredients. I have 2 more to fry up. Maybe I can do it both at the same time. We're gonna get these nice and golden brown. We're gonna drain them off on the same rack. We're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna try them. Well, these look really good. It smells really amazing. I can't wait to try it. Let's go for the lupin flour one first, because that's the one that we haven't tried before.
Held up really well.
Right. His is way more gooey, but it is steaming hot in there. Look at that. Oh. Gotta press it down a little bit.
Were you ever a pizza puff fan?
Not really. Although I'm a big fan of anything deep fried.
Another time.
The lupin flour is really crunchy.
It's very fresh tasting with the basil in there. A marinara dipping sauce.
I just like it as, oh my gosh, I'm changing. I just like it as is without a dipping sauce.
You know it's good if you don't need a sauce with it. You know what I mean?
I'm very rarely like that. I want to put ranch on everything. I want to put mayo on everything.
I'm not saying it's not good without that, but just having like a, little marinara dipping sauce might give you that pizza feel. The lupin flake really does feel like that cornmeal type of texture that you're looking for in this type of thing. It doesn't really have much of a taste, which is good, because you just want that crunchy factor in there.
I'm really impressed with the lupin flakes so far as replacement. We're going to have to compare it though to the pork rinds. The pork rinds are obviously more even than the lupin flakes because we honestly made the lupin flakes a little bit more textured. Kind of looks like a chicken cutlet, like a chicken. What is it called?
Oh, like a stuffed chicken.
Yeah,
breast?
like chicken Kiev.
Oh, Kiev. Yeah.
Let's try it. The crushed pork rinds are crispier.
Right.
Unparalleled crispiness.
And I really just taste that garlic that's in there.
Yeah.
That's why we always tell you guys to add garlic if you don't like pork rinds, because it really does help mask that flavor. What do you think about like a sweet version? You might have to redo this again.
I mean, maybe without the pork rinds, but
Yeah, the lupin flour one.
You have the egg wash kind of going into the bread and then creating like this crust on the outside. It is really good if you had to choose one though. Do you like the lupin flour? I think they both taste a little different.
Right. I think I'm just used to the pork rinds, and I think that in the savory application, they just work really well. I'm really glad we tried the lupin flakes because so many of you guys asked for an alternative, and I'm so happy that we can finally give you one because I've always felt bad when I'm like, I'm not sure what will work. Let us know, you know? So we can definitely recommend lupin flakes. So if you like this content, please subscribe. We would love to have you. We are trying to hit 250,000 subscribers, and it really means a lot to us.
It's free. It's just clicking a button, but it means a lot to us as creators, so thanks. And if you guys see recipes that like entice you enough that you would say, hey, can I make that keto? Why don't you tag us and we'll see if we can. And if you guys are looking for another way to use lupin flakes, we did try a recipe that was keto french fries. If you want to see that video, you can click right here and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.